There is a prison that has no bars, a warden who wears no uniform, and a sentence with no end date. It is the prison we build for ourselves, brick by brick, excuse by excuse. For 42 years, Elias woke up and looked at that door, and every day he saw the same chain, felt the same weight, and gave up before he even tried. What he didn't know was that the door was never locked, and the chain only existed in his mind. Elias wasn't born a prisoner. He was born a dreamer. The scent of sawdust was his favorite perfume. His fingers knew the tools like an extension of his soul. His dream was simple and grand, to have his own carpentry shop, the Wise Oak, where every piece would tell a story. Until one day, Elias realized he needed some financial investment to start his business. After failing to get help from his parents and friends, he decided to go to a bank.
Carpentry? Son, there's no future in that. The world belongs to factories, to plastic. You're dreaming too small.
Worn down by constant rejections, Elias turns to his girlfriend, hoping to find some comfort in her words.
But honey, what about security? A steady job? What if it doesn't work out?
The first brick of the wall wasn't laid by Elias. It was handed to him. A no, a doubt, a look of pity. And he, being intelligent and sensitive, took that brick and analyzed it. And he started to think, what if they're right? That question is the beginning of every cell. And so Elias chose safety, a job that paid the bills but charged his soul in return. He got married, had children, bought a house. He followed the script he was given. But at night, in the silence, he could hear the sound of the saw in his mind.
Remembering the old days again, dear?
Just old things. A boy's dreams.
He called them dreams, but they were projects. They were plans. He kept them like one keeps a version of themselves they didn't have the courage to let be born. With each passing year, the cell didn't just get stronger. It became comfortable. The invisible walls now protected him from the fear of trying and failing.
And make no mistake, Elias was the chief architect of his prison. And being an intelligent man, his excuses were masterpieces of logic and reason.
With the kids so young, I can't take the risk. Now that they're grown, I need to save for their college. The economy is too unstable to start a business. I'm over 40 now. My body couldn't handle the hard labor. Who would even buy handmade furniture these days? I would need a space, expensive tools, permits. Now it's simply too late.
Each excuse an iron bar, each justification a higher wall. He became so good at convincing himself that he couldn't, that he forgot to ask himself, what if I could? Life sometimes has an ironic way of giving us the key. It doesn't come as an angel or a divine revelation. Sometimes it comes in the form of a mirror. And Elias's mirror was that young man?
Poor kid. He doesn't know the hardship he's about to face. The bureaucracy, the lack of customers. He doesn't know it's impossible.
And then, like thunder on a clear day, a second thought struck Elias. A thought so powerful it shook the foundations of his 42-year-old cell.
Or was I the only one who always believed it was impossible?
That night, Elias didn't sleep. He declared war against his own warden. He opened the drawer and no longer saw a boy's dreams. He saw a map, a battle plan. He didn't try to break down the prison door. He just walked up to it, hesitant, and for the first time in 4 decades, instead of imagining the chain, he reached out and touched the doorknob. And it opened, just like that, because the prison was never about the door being locked. It was about believing it was. Today, Elias is 72. He didn't become a millionaire entrepreneur. He didn't get the 42 years back, but he got himself back. His backyard workshop sells little, but it teaches a lot. He lives with a lightness that money could never buy.
You know, the worst cell in the world isn't the one they lock you in. It's the one you learn to call home. Don't let anyone convince you to build your own.
The story of Elias isn't about carpentry. It's about us, about the invisible chains we accept, the no's we believe, the doors we never try to open. Maybe you're like Elias, waiting for a key, for a miracle, for a sign.
But what if the door is already open? I want you to think of one thing you believe is impossible for you today. Now, tell me in the comments, what is the smallest, simplest first step you can take to test if that door is truly locked? Your story might inspire someone else to find their own doorknob.
Subscribe for more stories that unlock the mind and free the soul. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that the door is open.